Donald Trump ran for office proclaiming he would do America first. Instead, he is sending 20 billion American taxpayer dollars to bail out his buddy in Argentina, and he's doing this after Argentina has just cozied up to China.
She has no idea what she's doing. She's a nasty, horrible senator. Go ahead. Other than that, I like her very much.
President Donald Trump is at war with Democratic Senator Elizabeth Warren over the administration's decision to, in my opinion, betray the America First movement and bail out the foreign country of Argentina. Now, I know that there are some conservatives who watch this program, and I thank them for keeping an open mind. And I am so curious to hear from you and get your thoughts on this particular story. Because if I'm missing something, I wanna know. And if you agree with my take, I also wanna know. So with that in mind, let's get to the details. Now, before we get to their fiery exchange, here's the background. Argentina is in a lot of economic trouble. There's no question about that. And the Trump administration believes that if they're not saved economically, the policy of deep austerity, okay, meaning cuts to social programs coupled with, free market capitalism, will fall out of favor. And in fact, it's already fallen out of favor among people in Argentina because the austerity has negatively impacted them. So in more recent elections, Javier Milei's party lost a lot of support. Now, Javier Milei is concerned about more political consequences if something isn't done soon. And so this is where the US government under Donald Trump steps in. So the US government authorized an extraordinary $20 billion currency swap this month, essentially a loan to prop up the sagging Argentine peso, which has fallen more than 24% against the dollar this year. In other words, the US government is bailing out Argentina. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said that the administration was marshaling an additional $20 billion from banks and sovereign wealth funds to help Argentina make its foreign debt payments. So that's a $40 billion bailout. That's crazy. And is not in any way beneficial to the American people who bought into the America First narrative that Trump was running on in 2024 and 2016, by the way. So today, again, it was announced that the Trump administration was gonna double the bailout amount to Argentina, so it's gonna be $40 billion. Obviously, this isn't America First, although Bessent wants you to think it absolutely is.
People say to me, how is this not America First? I'll tell you why it's not. Do you want to be shooting at more gunboats like in Venezuela? We do not want a failed state.
So this isn't a bailout?
Sorry, it's not a bailout at all. There's no money being transferred. The ESF has never lost money. It's not going to lose money here. I was in the investment business, mostly currencies, for 40 years. You're supposed to buy low, sell high, and the Argentine peso is undervalued. We're going to have an election in Argentina the 26th of this month. We think President Milei will do quite well. Argentina is rich in rare earths and rich in uranium, and I think they are committed to US private companies coming in and being good partners with them.
US private companies. Let's do a little favor for Argentina. And maybe in return, we can look out for corporate interests in the United States, which tend to conflict with the best interests of rank and file Republican voters and ordinary Americans. Cool. So speaking of American private companies, funds at investment firms including BlackRock, Fidelity, and PIMCO are heavily invested in Argentina, as are investors such as Stanley Druckenmiller and Robert Citrone, both of whom worked with Bessent when he was an investor for George Soros. Wow, okay. So this is really about doing favors for corporate America. And the same members of corporate America that Scott Bessent himself worked for. That's totally America First, right? Now, the Dukenzie, I don't know if I'm saying that right, family office, which Druckenmiller runs, was the second largest investor in Argentina's principal exchange-traded fund, a pool of Argentine stocks. Citron, the founder of Discovery Capital Management, has made Latin America his biggest bet in the world, and Argentina is the fund's biggest investment in the region. And here's some more context on this bailout, because Argentina's currency, bonds, and stocks have all been sliding following Javier Milei's party losing an important election in Buenos Aires last month. So since then, Milei has been doing everything in his power to keep Argentina's currency, the peso, from getting devalued. Now, if that happened, inflation would spike and Milei would be at risk of losing power during the midterm elections, which are set to take place later this month on October 26th. But the United States wants Milei to win enough seats in the legislature to keep his agenda moving. And we should note that his leadership has led to some silver linings. There have been some upsides. I want to be fair in Argentina. So Argentina posted its first budget surpluses since 2009, and inflation is down to around 30% from peaks almost 10 times higher. So there's that. But explain to me why Americans are supposed to bail out this foreign country again, and how it's supposed to benefit ordinary Americans, because I don't really see it. Okay, so as part of this currency swap with Argentina, the US purchased Argentinian pesos in the open market, and that makes the fourth time that the United States has bought another country's currency in that manner since 1996. So that's how you basically prop up the value of the currency. You get the United States to purchase the currency on the open market. But here's the real kicker. Even as the bailout was being finalized, Argentina suspended its tax on exports, encouraging China to buy massive amounts of soybeans from Argentine farmers. Orders that American farmers say should have gone to them. And that is where Senator Elizabeth Warren comes in. Trump is not happy about what she had to say in the next video you're about to watch.
Donald Trump ran for office proclaiming he would do America first. Instead, he is sending 20 billion American taxpayer dollars to bail out his buddy in Argentina, and he's doing this after Argentina has just cozied up to China and cut a deal with China that takes the legs out from underneath American soybean farmers. So let me get this straight. Argentina hurts American farmers, and the President of the United States responds by giving $20 billion to Argentina, plus Secretary Bessent saying, and a blank check if they need more. That's pretty appalling.
It sure is. It is pretty appalling. It's absolutely disgusting. It really is. Because again, this is about benefiting corporate America, corporations and corporate executives that members of this administration rub elbows with. That's the fact of the matter here. But Trump really hates being called out, especially when he's being called out on reneging on his promises to his own base. And so here's the message he had for Senator Warren today.
We've been criticized by a couple of American Peronists like Senator Warren. She and
it's a compliment.
Yeah.
She has no idea what she's doing. She's a nasty, horrible senator. Go ahead. Other than that, I like her very much.
She doesn't know what she's doing. She's a nasty senator. Other than that, I like her very much. It seems like you both know what you're doing. Trump knows whose bread he's buttering, okay, who he's actually helping out by bailing out a foreign country. And Senator Warren knows exactly what he's doing and has decided to call him out on it. It's very easy to understand. Now, Trump is considering a $10 billion bailout for American farmers. in America's high debt environment, by the way. We're spending $1 trillion a year on servicing our debt. Now, I'm not saying that our farmers should be abandoned. I feel terrible for them. But how do you justify bailing out a country that just made a deal with China that squeezes American soybean farmers out of the equation entirely? How do you justify that? Finally, US farmers are not buying Trump's explanations. Here's one of them.
China is beginning to buy soybeans from Argentina, and the president bailed them out with $20 billion. And we see it as that could have been a whole lot of relief for America's farmers. For the first time in a very long time, I was not able to secure a farm operating loan myself this year due to the bankers telling me that the cost per acre just wasn't working. As the young people said, the math wasn't math in here. And I was out here, so I'm basically farming from vendors, so to speak. So it's a very troubling time in America's history for America's farmers. And as we lose farm, there's the vice president who's out here buying land through his company, Acre Trader. All of these are happening while America's farmers are going under.
America's farmers are going under, but at the end of the day, they're Americans. Who cares about them when you can be bailing out foreign countries, funding a genocide in the Middle East, bomb and strike random boats in international waters, in gearing up for a war with Venezuela? All of that stuff matters way more than you do. That's the message that's being sent from the Trump administration through policies like this. And the thing that drives me nuts is they think we're too stupid to see what's really going on. We're not. We see it. It's as clear as day.
Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.